So wonderful to have you back. We've spent a number of episodes reviewing the Bistroo token. In episode 10, we started by taking a closer look at Bistroo's white paper. In episode 13, we looked at the roadmap and the financials, or tokenomics, after which we looked at the Bistroo team in episode 14. In episode 19, we looked at the technique used and how it is or isn't transparent to the outside world. We ended our research in episode 20 by looking at the socials. And now for the conclusion. Is Bistroo a worthy project to join? So, in 5 episodes, we used the research design that I personally use to assess the Bistroo cryptocurrency project. Let's have a final look and draw our conclusions. The white paper that Bistroo has published is impressively comprehensive and gives a very clear description of the use case of Bistroo. Bistroo wants to make the food market fairer and is competing with, among others, Takeaway.com. A clear advantage for the restaurant owner is, for example, the much lower commission Bistroo asks for. In addition, the restaurant owner is in charge of their own data and can also carry out marketing activities based on this data directly through the platform. For example, advertisements can be purchased using Beast tokens. Conclusion: the white paper published by Bistroo provides clear insight into their use case and provides a clear explanation of the potential use of Bistroo tokens. The roadmap that has been included leaves something to be desired. The roadmap, which can be found on the Bistroo.io website, is outdated because it doesn't look further than December 2020. We have long since passed that station. Fortunately, the roadmap in the white paper is used to look a little ahead, to the fourth quarter of 2021, but has not been worked out in great detail. I understand the direction Bistroo has taken, but it is not very clear or transparent what the status of the project actually is compared to the published roadmap. I myself expect that there will be an update soon, which would be most desirable. It would also be nice if Bistroo would provide a regular update on the status of the project in relation to the roadmap via their socials. This way I know whether the project is on track or not. The so-called tokenomics tell me something about the distribution of the tokens and how they're going to be used within the project. This information can be clearly found in the white paper. What personally intrigues me in this project is that there are only 100 million tokens. This is a relatively small number. In addition to this, only 30% of these tokens have been put on the market through a token sale. Should the project become a success, the demand for tokens will increase. With a relatively small number of tokens, the chance of price increase is obviously greater. Bistroo's team is diverse, and the management has broad experience, including experience related to cryptocurrency projects. From what I can find out from research, I do wonder whether they have sufficient development capacity to stay up to speed with the development of the project. However, due to the token sale, the team has raised funding, so expansion of the development team could be financed, albeit partly, with this funding. What gives me confidence is the fact that most of the team members have been involved from the start of the project and are still part of the team today. The system that Bistroo developed is a fairly closed system. Very little of the code can be found on GitHub, as we saw in episode 19. Inquiries via Telegram soon taught me that the team is aware of this and that they may change this in the future. However, it is questionable whether this is necessary. The Beast token has a clear purpose and use case. It's not that other developers will use this platform for other purposes. The fact that the project is less transparent and largely not open source is something I personally don't worry about that much. In episode 20, we looked at the socials that Bistroo uses. The team is quite active and uses beautiful images on their social media channels. A team of moderators has also been created on Telegram by the community itself. However, this community is not yet very large. The fact that they've started an ambassador program really appeals to me. The future will show whether this proves effective. And now, the question of whether I would personally invest in this project. Mind you, this is far from financial advice, and as you can read in our disclaimer, the channel is set up for infotainment purposes, so I speak purely for myself, and yes, there are also personal considerations. An important consideration, for instance, is that I take into account that this project is a Dutch project. As a Dutch person myself, I like the idea of having a Dutch project in my portfolio. The use case of Bistroo really appeals to me as well, and that there are opportunities here can be seen from Travala, a competitor of the well-known Booking.com, but based on blockchain technology. Remember, one of the founders of Travala is even part of the advisory board of Bistroo. Bistroo is not a project for a quick buck. If you invest in Bistroo, it is for the long run. The project is just getting off the ground and will rely heavily on the onboarding of new restaurants and other food chain companies. In the Netherlands, where Bistroo was started and established, this has already been successful, but how will this work in the rest of Europe and worldwide? All in all, I personally think it's an interesting project to invest in, but not entirely without risk. The token was on the market for several months during the token sale for 24 cents and has since lost half its value. If you want to take a gamble, given the low price, now would be a great opportunity to jump in. I myself have entered at the aforementioned $24, so I'm currently at a loss of 50%. Nevertheless, because I believe in the case, I don't worry about it too much. However, time will have to show whether Bistroo has sufficient clout in the coming years to convince restaurateurs to join this new and unknown platform. Some interesting partnerships have already been made with marketing companies, so perhaps we will be hearing from Bistroo in the not-too-distant future. This was the first project in which we used the Future and Finance research design, which you can download for free on the Future and Finance website. Go to www.futureandfinance.com. That's www.future.finance.com and download your free copy there today. There you will also be able to find the finished report of the research into Bistroo. I would suggest you use it to your advantage, and I look forward to seeing you again at the next episode.